Now, from midnight tonight, anyone working in a care home in England will have to be fully vaccinated against COVID unless they have a medical exemption. Care home managers in England, already struggling with staff shortages, fear that they could eventually lose many workers as a direct result of the vaccination rule. The Health Secretary, Sajid Javid, says the new arrangement will make care homes much safer. Our Social Affairs editor, Alison Holt, has more details.
The end of a breakfast shift for Daniela Bell and the end of a job that she loved. She's worked in a care home with people with dementia for nearly 4 years. But because she won't have the COVID jab, she had to leave before tonight's deadline. She's worried about potential vaccine side effects.
It was difficult this morning. It was a bit heartbreaking because I love what I do and I love the people, I love the staff. And it's been hard to break from that because that's what I can't see myself do something else.
And the number of staff leaving remains a real worry, according to the National Care Forum, which represents services employing 14,000 people looking after 11,000 residents. In a snapshot survey, its members believe they will have lost 3.5% of their workers by midnight tonight. And another group will leave when they can no longer self-certify that they have a medical exemption. In these services alone, that adds up to more than 1,000 staff going.
Care homes feel that they've been guinea pigs in terms of the implementation of this policy. It means that the workforce that we need to be able to take in new people who require care, particularly whether they're coming from hospitals or from the communities, are just not there.
Oh yeah, you've got another edge there.
At this Croydon nursing home, they expect to lose 3 staff before Christmas when self-certified medical exemptions end.
I think I had done it.
Here, like many places in the care sector, they struggle to find nurses.
There just aren't the nurses out there, or the nurses that want to come and work in care homes. We've interviewed several nurses, and when we've asked them the question, are they vaccinated? They've said no, they don't want to be vaccinated.
Just because of the way the immune system works.
But information sessions run with their local council and NHS have persuaded most of their staff to have jabs. Some had been put off by what they read on social media.
I think the information is the key. I think that people shouldn't just busy themselves of what happened in social media, because 90% of what they write there or what they say there is lies.
What did you think when you had it? Were you nervous?
Well, when I was going there, I was a bit worried. But when I went there, they talked to me about the vaccine. So I had it and there was nothing.
Compulsory vaccination is there to protect residents and staff after so many care home deaths during the pandemic. And despite existing staff shortages, council bosses believe homes will cope with support.
Many of them have been recruiting, of course, to replace staff that they've known will be leaving. So can't rule out there won't be a problem in a small number of places. But overall, this has been well managed and the sector will come through it.
But whether homes will be able to find enough new staff to replace those who are going is still uncertain. Alison Holt, BBC News.
So let's have a look at the latest official figures for the pandemic in the UK, and they show that there were almost 40,000 new infections recorded in the latest 24-hour period, which means that on average there were 33,866 new cases reported every day in the last week. 214 deaths were recorded of people who died within 28 days of a positive COVID test. On average, therefore, in the past week, 165 related deaths were recorded every day, and more than 10.9 million people have now received their booster jab.